Leo 11. Children on a swing in a huge oak tree. Well, this is about enthusiasm. Children play enthusiastically. And when they play, they're not concerning themselves with personal development or social responsibility or achieving a purpose or organizing a relationship or balancing a budget. They're just playing. They're delighting in their spontaneous response to possibility. I can play on this swing. I'm playing on this swing. It doesn't even go through the mind. They're just doing what delights them. And this is done with enthusiasm. I love to study words. I love to look at what makes a word up, the linguistic study. And enthusiasm, it comes from Greek, and it includes the word theos, which is God. So enthusiasm means making God a physical reality in your own body, embodying God. So enthusiasm is the embodiment of God. It's spirit, pure spirit. It's fiery, it's fast, it's spontaneous, it's free, it's not constrained by purpose or discipline. It's just delightful spontaneity. Enthusiasm is that. And children are a lot better at it than adults, which is a pity because it's an absolute quality. We shouldn't just think of it as a childlike quality. And if you actually think about it, you notice the highly developed beings that you meet sometimes, spiritually advanced beings. They're enthusiastic and they have this childlike innocence and a humor, an ability to just be light all of the time. Nothing gets them down. Nothing is serious enough to stop them feeling joy. So you see, the children have it and spiritual masters have it. It does seem pretty obvious that we need to be enthusiastic if we're to be free and spiritually advanced. It takes a lot to undo the conditioning of the finger waggers. From an early age, we've had a finger wagged in our face. You mustn't do this, you mustn't do that, you mustn't go there, you mustn't say this. Parents, school teachers, eventually it becomes the community. And the community isn't those people over there that you don't know. It's your circle of friends very often. Even though your friends are chosen because they don't wag their fingers quite as much as other people, nevertheless they exert social pressure on you to conform. And that pressure to conform is the end of enthusiasm. Enthusiasm depends upon being self-expressive, centered in the self. Now, that self-centeredness can, of course, like any principle at all, become distorted. And if you distort that principle, then you get selfishness and carelessness about other people's needs and wants. It just goes all wrong. But we're talking about the essential truth here is to do what you desire, what you feel like doing. And if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. There are, of course, implications that when you have chosen to take on a responsibility, as long as that's done with enthusiasm, then you can fulfill it. But what happens is that people take on responsibilities unthinkingly, without God. They just obey habit, expectation, parental pressure, social pressure. They obey that. Well, that's not the energy of enthusiasm. There is no obedience whatever in the word enthusiasm. Now, if you've enthusiastically done something and there are implications, then you're going to have to take some responsibility for the implications of it, which means that you need to make sure that your enthusiasm is real, it's yours, it's not drug-induced, for example. A lot of people get very enthusiastic when they drink some wine and beer and they do things which have consequences. Pregnancy, for example. Other people do things enthusiastically out of some sense of hysteria. They take on the mood of the group they're in, and moods travel between people by osmosis. That's what hysteria is. And when this is stoked up into passion, then you're enthusiastic on the face of it, but it's not really enthusiasm, it's hysteria, it's not the same thing. And when we're talking about enthusiasm, we're talking about the embodiment of God. Whatever you do, embodying God is fine. Whatever the implications are of that will be fine. You have to have faith in that. So there's a difference between what I would call enthusiasm, true enthusiasm on the one hand, and copies of it, distorted versions of it, such as a drug-induced high or an hysterical moment because you're in a group and you just follow the herd instinct. That's not really what we're talking about. We're talking about childlike, innocent bubbling up of doing what you feel like doing. In that state of enthusiasm, something radiates from the heart. There is this pure, spiritual, exciting joy that comes from the heart. And if you imagine just a group of children, or even a small number of children playing enthusiastically, there's this light around them, this bubble of sparkling light. And if we were to watch them from a distance, we would feel it. We would feel everything's right in the world because the children can play like that. There's a heart quality to enthusiasm. And also there's a secret which is little understood, certainly in the field of education, is that the best way really to have somebody learn something is to let them play with it. The structure of our school system typically is obedience, learning facts so that they can be regurgitated at examination time, and we can select who fits into the system properly and exclude those who don't. That's not really education, that's training. That's like getting a dog to be obedient. But if you actually allow kids and adults to play and just to do what they feel like doing moment by moment, most assuredly they will learn. They may not have facts to regurgitate, but they will learn who they are, they will learn how they are, they will learn what's going on, how they feel, the nature of reality, the nature of nature, the nature of people. They'll learn all of that, and it will be a deep, real learning. It will be a change. And so enthusiasm actually creates knowledge. Real knowledge, deep knowledge, and permanent knowledge. It is not time off specifically. It's a way of, and often a fast track to the true process of educating.